Revenge of the Savage Planet is a delightfully bonkers and satisfying sequel to the 2020 action-adventure game Journey to the Savage Planet. Developed by Typhoon Studios, Revenge takes the core elements of what made Journey so appealing and dials that up to 11, complete with a changed third-person perspective, plenty of crude and satirical humor, and a simple but satisfying gameplay loop. This is, by all accounts, a Metroidvania at its heart, and the game takes all the usual machinations of that genre, spreads it across 4 big worlds, and encourages players to put on their adventuring hats and go exploring. The hook works surprisingly well, playing out as a hybrid packaged blend of Journey to the Savage Planet's absurdity, Ori and the Will of the Wisps' visual flair and Metroidvania structure, and No Man's Sky's freeform exploration. The ensuing result is a game that's a fun little sandbox, but also held back by some frustrating inclusions that constantly feel like roadblocks to the core experience. Combat is clunky, stamina, or a lack thereof, is a constant hindrance, and busy work collectathon missions feel a bit dull in such a colorful world. Whether you're familiar with the original game or not, Revenge of the Savage Planet is welcoming to newcomers and veteran players alike. Here, you take on the role of an explorer, set out on an interstellar exploration mission after being abandoned by the greedy Alta Global. A corporate takeover has left you in the dark, or more specifically, the dark void of space. So naturally, it's time to take revenge on the company that have abandoned you and expose Alta's dirty secrets along the way. There are themes of capitalism, globalization, and the sheer absurdity of extreme corporatism woven into the fabric of the story, mostly told with little cutscenes or voiced dialogue that chirps up on holograms or back at your habitat base. The story is basically a footnote, though, compared to the main bulk of the game, which centers almost exclusively on the gameplay. Your task here is to scan, kill, explore, and navigate through beautiful worlds, topped with huge mountains to scale, mysterious caves to traverse, and lush fields full of flora and fauna. The world is beautifully realized, with a great use of color throughout. Everything feels vibrant and alive, with the level design feeding directly into everything. You have the obligatory desert world and ice world, but within those footnotes are secret locales and surprises that will catch you off guard. Whether it be a neon-lit beautiful cave full of mushrooms deep underground, or a lush area full of rolling hills and a beautiful watering lake, the visuals in Revenge are easily the best parts of the game. You can tell a lot of thought has gone into the design of the worlds, and that definitely shows as you play through this one. As I mentioned before, there are 4 worlds in total, and each have individual regions that have their own unique design, quirks. In some worlds, there's an emphasis on exploring vertically, up mountains or floating platforms. Other times, it's a case of moving through lush jungles and avoiding sticky tar lakes. There's a lot to see here, but the general gameplay loop is largely the same across the 15 or so hours you'll spend with this one, more if you intend to get all the achievements. The main mission involves collecting your gear, which has been scattered across the system. Along the way, you beef out your arsenal so you can progress to different areas, which in turn then allow you to obtain even more tools to aid you on your adventure. This is essentially one big fetch quest, but the game does well to disguise this around the usual Metroidvania blockades. Some areas will require backtracking, and there's a keen sense of progression that definitely makes you feel like you're gaining momentum as you play. Alongside this are a number of different missions, which all involve collecting items or capturing creatures. If you've ever played a Lego game, the concept feels very similar, but it's hard to shake the feeling that this is just busy work to pad out the runtime. To be fair to Revenge of the Savage Planet, the collectibles aren't just mindless pickups, and they do help give your character more power. Printer slurries found in crates can be used toward upgrading your gear. Orange goo helps to improve your health and stamina, while capturing creatures out in the wild helps to give more options for upgrades. The weapons and tools you pick up make good use of the environment too, and whether it be a watering hose that extends bulbs into platforms to reach previously inaccessible areas, or a metal fork that doubles up as a tool to break into metallic doorways or extend out hidden platforms. All of these upgrades are handled over at the Habitat, which is your de facto base for the duration of the game's playtime. You'll be constantly heading back here throughout the adventure, via teleporters found out in the world. And yes, there is a mission for finding all of these. Given the amount of time you'll be spending at the habitat, the game tries to mix things up by adding in a costume changer, a petting zoo, and even a computer terminal with emails and the ability to add extra items to decorate your room using Alta coupons, which are found in crates out in the world. The game keeps up the same comedic wit throughout the adventure, usually broadcast by a little drone computer joining you as you explore the world. However, despite the option to turn down the amount of chatter, it can become grating after a while. There are instances where it becomes completely overbearing, especially during key missions and explaining parts of the story, and the humor itself very much relies on silly slapstick and bathroom jokes. The end credits song, which is basically a satirical tune about using the toilet at work, only exemplifies the tone this one's gunning for.